Hey devs, I'm Casey. Today I want to talk a little bit about front-end development, specifically one concept, one problem related to that concept, and then finally a solution to that problem. And the topic I want to discuss today is negative space. And what is negative space? Well, simply it's the space around and between the content or in the composition of a piece of art. Well, I had a music teacher one time when I was in school who said music is defined by the silences between the notes. And negative space kind of operates in a similar way. So if you want to see like a classical example of negative space, you could think of an image like this, where you could either see two faces or a goblet, depending on how you read the negative space on the page. And why this is important in web development? As you can see, this is an image that I drew for my portfolio. And as you can see, on the right side of the image, I have a lot of dense lines, not very much negative space on the page. And you can see on the left side of the image, I've intentionally made those lines much more sparse. There's less going on that side. So I'm utilizing more negative space on this side. And you might be asking, why? And the answer is, when you look at this in application, I opted to use more negative space on the left side so that I had room for the user to read the text more clearly. So now I want to talk a little bit about the problem that we can run into with negative space, because unlike a piece of art, we have to deal with responsive design, which means, our end user might be viewing this very static image on varying screen sizes, which we can run into some problems, as you can see, when we start to shrink this image or shrink the width of the image. I get all of this negative space that starts to come up on the top of the image, and furthermore, I start to run into some real problems when the space gets even denser and denser on the right side, and now my text isn't even filling my intended space that I had set for it over there. And this starts to look really, really ugly and amateurish if I don't address this problem. So my fix for this problem is the very little utilized picture tag. It's just a simple HTML tag. I'm going to show you what I can do with it here. So this picture tag allows me to solve two problems. First, it allows me to serve the end user a different image depending on their screen size at different breakpoints. And the second issue it helps me solve is that on smaller screens, I can actually just serve the user a smaller image, so they don't need as much bandwidth to load this giant image if they're not viewing it on a giant screen. So all this is I'm using a regular image tag here with my base image, and then I'm wrapping that in this picture tag, and then setting 3 different breakpoints using this source set. And basically all this source set is it's a path to a different image. And you can see where I've defined these images based on the breakpoints that I want the end user to see them on. So for example, and then I set a media query for those breakpoints, so that when we go back into the portfolio website here, and I'm actually gonna go in and view it. Now you see when this image is large, you see the full image. And as we start hitting breakpoints, I can preserve more of this negative space on the side. And then I hit the breakpoint for mobile, and you can see a more clearly defined image. Those lines aren't getting as condensed as the image gets smaller. So it's a really, really elegant and simple fix to this problem of negative space. Thanks so much for watching. If you like content like this, please connect with me on LinkedIn. I love networking with other devs, and I'll see you next time.